Yesterday was a pretty rough night. I had to wake up early in the morning, and due to a series of bullshit events, I wasn't able to come home early to get some rest. I was so tired that I ended up going to bed around 10 p.m. But, of course, as usual, whenever I try to go to bed early, I just can't sleep. I ended up tossing and turning until just shy of 3 a.m., maybe around like 2:40, 2:45. Tossed and turned until then. And then when I got up, well, by then I already rested, and now I'm not that tired anymore. So what I did was I just came downstairs, I gamed for a bit, watched some videos, and then around 4 a.m. I went back to bed. But then, when I got into bed, I couldn't sleep again. 4 a.m. became 5 a.m. and then became around like 5:30. I don't know what time I fell asleep, but let's say I fell asleep around 6 a.m. and then woke up around 10. Yeah, it was a pretty rough night. And also, as of today, I am officially back in school. Sort of. My course starts today, however, it's not, it's not a seminar, it's not someone actually teaching the class. I don't have an online seminar I have to make it on time for. No. All the material's there, and I have to learn it all myself. I have the slideshows, I have the course outline, I have everything. I need to take it upon myself to learn everything. And then follow the course schedule whenever there's a quiz or an assignment due, be there on time, get those done on time, that kind of stuff. But for the most part, it's pretty chill. I just have to go through the slides, learn everything, teach it all to myself. Well, I can't say that it's... I can't say it's necessarily a good thing or a smart thing giving me all this freedom, because I will absolutely procrastinate. Yeah. You got me fucked up if you think I'm buying the textbook. The course outline is saying this textbook is required. You can purchase it through the school online store. Shit is $250. You got me messed up if you think I'm spending that kind of money. So, today was technically the first day of school. More so the first day I have access to all the course materials. And when I should have been looking over the stuff, instead I was grinding on my decks. My Pokédex. Now, I realized that last time when I showed you my Pokédex progress, some of it was out of order, some of it was wrong. So I've gone ahead and fixed that. So let me show you after this next encounter. Okay, so here in my Legend ZA, So what I've also done is I've also put the hyperspace dex right next to the original Pokedex. I didn't do that initially just so it would be easier to organize, easier to keep track. So there's still a couple things missing. I'm missing a Surfetched. This is a Rotom I'm missing. What is this one? This one? Oh, this one's Kecleon. Gimmighoul and Goldengo. This one's Overquill. I'm missing Indeedee. And that's it, aside from the legendaries and mythicals. And I also put AZ Floette at the very end. And this is my Alpha Dex. Alpha. Same thing, I put the Alphas at the very end, so still missing Surfetched. Literally the same things I'm missing. And, yeah, a couple things I got to evolve as well. And there you go, that's the update to the progress. Let me show you. I spent a good amount of time today using the last bit of remaining berries I have to get this. To get Sparkling Power Normal Level 3 and Alpha Level 2. That's because I have a special scan that spawns Eevee and a handful of other Eeveelutions, and I really want a shiny Alpha Eevee. Specifically, a female one. So that's why I really wanted the best of the best. I could have settled for only level 3 Sparkling and Alpha, but you know what? Level 3 Sparkling and level 2 Alpha is good enough. And now it seems like, well, that was a big waste of my time, because if you look here in the Alpha, well, not the Alpha, over there, yes, there's a shiny Eevee there, but not a lot of Eevees are spawning. See? Not too many Eevees are spawning. Majority are Vaporeon. So it's like, shit, I wasted all those berries, and hardly any Eevees are spawning here. Well, I've already invested into it. And you know what? I've been map skipping for a while now, and not a single shiny, aside from that guaranteed shiny. Oh, never mind. A shiny Alpha Eevee just popped up. You think I'm kidding? Here, take a look. Look, a shiny Alpha Eevee just popped up. Oh my god, and it's female! Wow. Hunt complete, I guess. Wow, there goes all my resources, my berries. This is nuts. This is nuts. Speaking of which, my first phase for Fennekin, when I wasn't even hunting for it, I was just trying to get an Alpha. My first phase was a shiny female Fennekin. And now, I've gotten shiny Alpha Eevee female first try. So in the process of making that donut, the Sparkling Normal 3 and Alpha 2, I didn't make this donut. I didn't make this one here. Sparkling Power, Fire, level 3, and Alpha, level 2. I was gonna save this for Tepig, but then I thought, you know what? I think this would be smarter to save for Fennekin, going for a shiny Alpha female Fennekin. I think I'm gonna do just that. I guess the game wanted to compensate me for the, you know, the fact that I used up all of my berries. Excuse me, I'm trying to catch this Eevee for a second. This thing's HP is thick! Then again, it is Hyperspace level 200. If you guys remember, this isn't the first time I've gone after a female shiny Eevee. I did the same in Brilliant Diamond all those years ago. And I was sick when I did that too. Remember that? Damn, I don't have enough time to destroy the Pokeballs and get the get the gold Pokeball. Also because my Greninja keeps fucking up. This small little space is atrocious. Excuse me, I'm just trying to get this distortion done while I shiny hunt here, which is a lot harder than it seems. Because I kind of need 2 hands to do this consistently. I've restarted the game, by the way, because I can do this. I can destroy 7 Pokeballs, thus completing all the survey tasks and getting me the gold Pokeball. I can do this. I can do this in time. I already caught the 2 shiny Eevees. I can destroy 7 Pokeballs, because that's my 3rd task. It was catch an Alpha, catch a shiny, and destroy 7 Pokeballs. I can do this. Well, I got nothing else going on tonight. I already did the dishes. Wow, I've tried a handful of times, but the small distortion space is horrible. Your Pokemon don't listen to you. There's a giant bug with this place. It's awful. Oops. Hold on. I'm really trying to focus on this over here. You know, it says destroy 7 Pokeballs, but for the life of me, I can't find the last one. I can only find 6. Oh, I found it, but I don't have the time. Okay, I know the route for the 7. I know where all 7 are. You know what? How about for fun, I show you instead of just saying it. Oh, you can see my face. Don't run off. Good. Yeah, this one. Okay. All done. And now I need to find that gold Pokeball somewhere. There it is. Go, 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 go. All done. And now with the seconds I have left, I can collect some of these. You know, while I'm showing you the screen, let me show you. I've gotten... Oop, not there. I've gotten some shinies. Not those ones. So, this is my most recent box full of shinies. Oh, by the way. Shiny Alpha Gibble. Shiny Alpha Dratini. And a couple of shiny stuff. Mimikyu. I wasn't even going for a shiny Mimikyu. I was going for the Alpha. And a shiny just showed up. So how did I get a shiny Alpha Gibble and Dratini? Well, you already know the answer. It was Distortions. I had a level 3 Sparkling Dragon and level 2 Alpha Donut. And I had a 3-star Distortion that had Gibble, Goomy, and Dratini. I don't really care to get Alpha Gibble. What? Alpha Goomy? I wanted Gibble and Dratini the most, and I got that. What's funny is that Alpha Shiny Dratini was super clutch. I had like maybe 10 calories left, maybe a little bit more. I threw a ball, and if it did not catch, then I was screwed. I did save the moment I saw Shiny Alpha Dratini, which is like, you know, maybe like 10 calories left. I threw a Pokeball, and it caught. Just in time. Perfect clutch. I already had a shiny Eevee in this game? When did I get a shiny Eevee? I don't remember getting it. Oh, right! I remember. It was when it was a phase for my shiny blue Flabébé, right. So anyway, here, take a look. This is what I just got just now. Shiny Alpha Female Eevee. Beautiful. You know, I'm running out of box space. I really need Pokemon Home to update, because I'm out of box space. it may come to a point where, well, it's not going to be that desperate, but it may come to a point where I find a shiny, I literally have no box space to have it. By the way, if you take a look here, you can see that I've maxed out on large... Oh, almost. Maxed out on these two, and I'm almost maxed out on this. I was maxed out a couple times, but I used some of them. It's just what happens when you grind as much as I have and, well, break as many Mega Shard crystals as you can. Or as I break as many as I can with the time I have. So, I am now going to just constantly bench reset until I get a distortion with something I need. Oh, right, I also got to go to Felipe to get another special scan. You know, if I got Shiny Alpha Eevee and it wasn't female, then I would have just loaded up the backup save until I did get a Shiny Alpha Eevee that was female. Ah, shit. The special scan is another battle zone. Well, that's a waste of my time. Alright, now that we've gotten all of that out of the way, let's go over the 2 shows we have, because we finished Dead Boy Detectives last time. Now we only have, well, as of today, for today, we only have Chainsaw Man and the Sandman to go over. And this is the last episode of Chainsaw Man. So you already know what that means. Next time, hopefully, I would have watched and have pure cinema to share with you. Damn, I was so close, but I just missed out on watching it in the theater. Oh well. Probably would have been a bad idea for me to watch it in the theater anyways, given how horrible I read. And, you know, subtitles. Sorry, I felt the sneeze coming, but it never came. But I just hope tonight I can actually get a good night's sleep. Oh, look at that! Smallville is on Netflix. You wanna know what's funny? I had a dream that in Avengers Doomsday, Tom Welling's Clark Kent showed up. How stupid is that? Obviously, that doesn't make sense, because Clark Kent is DC, not Marvel. But, you know, there's rumored talks of a Marvel versus DC crossover event, like live-action film, which I highly doubt will happen anytime soon. And you know, it would have been nice to see our Avengers, yes, even Tony Stark, not Doctor Doom, Tony Stark, go up against the Snyder Justice League. Not the one that James Gunn is working on. That would have been epic, but that's not the world we live in. You know, I saw this reel on Instagram, POV, you wake up in an alternate universe's theater. And in that theater, you just see movie posters for Avengers The Kang Dynasty, Spider-Man 4, The Amazing Spider-Man 3, Transformers 2, sequel to Transformers 1. You see the Ben Affleck directed The Batman. Oh, we live in such a garbage timeline. You know, as good or as bad it may have been, I still would like to see what Avengers The Kang Dynasty would have looked like. But we're not getting that. By the way, as of today, January 13th, as of today, Marvel started a live stream on YouTube that is the Doomsday Countdown. It's literally an 11-month long countdown until the movie premieres. Which is kind of nuts. Oh, I got a distortion for Kecleon. Nice. For Kecleon, and I don't know what that is. I'm assuming that's a Glamora, because, you know, rock as well. Okay, I'm obviously not going to do that right now, because I can't explore a large distortion. Because remember, I also have to ensure I get an alpha an Alpha Kecleon as well as a regular. And that's a large distortion, so I'm going to need my time to find it. So, for now, well, at least I map skipped until I got something. So, for now, put the Switch away. And let's start talking about these shows. So, Chainsaw Man, episode 12 of Season 1. We haven't gotten Season 2 yet, but I'm sure we will. Season 1, episode 12, the last episode for now. The last episode as of right now. So the episode opens up with Hayakawa being choked out, having the life choked out of him, and as he blacks out, he flashes back. His life doesn't necessarily flash before his eyes, but he does flash back to the meal he had with Himeno when she offered him a cigarette. And we see the aftermath of after he accepted it, saying, "I can't believe you're offering a cigarette to someone underage." And Himeno is even surprised. You're underage? Well, you can't smoke then. Give that back. I'll save this for you for when you're of age. Damn, Himeno really likes her guys young, doesn't she? But I'm assuming that was a couple years ago, since we obviously see Hayakawa smoke now. So he is of age now, and he even lives on his own. Or he did before Denji and Power crashed his place. So after he's been choked out and he had that flashback, we see him suddenly not being choked anymore. And then the devil reaches out its hand, and in its hand has a cigarette that has the words "Easy Revenge" written on it. I'm not entirely sure what happened here, because out of nowhere, Hayakawa stopped being choked. He even points out that this devil has no eyes, so it can only see with fear. So Hayakawa now has no fear, just casually walks up onto the devil, slices off its head, to where even the snake girl, what was her name again? The snake girl, Sawatari. That's her name. For the life of me, I couldn't remember her name the last 2 or 3 episodes. So Sawatari is even shocked. Even she has no idea what just happened. So, just as Sawatari was about to raise her hand to tell the snake devil to kill Hayakawa, well, Kobani sneaks up behind her with a knife to her throat. But I couldn't help but notice that she was kind of holding the knife the wrong way. Like the dull part of the knife was to her neck, not the sharp side. Well, based on Sawatari's position, she wouldn't have been able to look down and see. Anyways, Hayakawa tells Kobani not to kill her. Hayakawa even asks Kobani, "Why did you stay with public safety?" And her response is just, "Well, bonuses are coming up soon." You know what? That's like one of the realest answers ever. So we see Power and Denji in an elevator, and Power just munches on a zombie arm. Disgusting. By the time they reach their floor, I don't think this is the floor they intended to go to, because when the doors open, there's just a ton of zombies there. Denji doesn't want the conflict to start, because, they're kind of outnumbered. So Denji points out that they haven't noticed them yet. We should stay quiet. But, of course, Power does not stay quiet. Power just shouts and announces her arrival. She just straight up yells at Denji like, "Witness, Denji, the great strength of Power." So she just fights off the zombies on her own, while Denji's just like, "Fuck this." Stays in the elevator until it closes and just leaves Power behind. But don't worry, she's fine. So Denji reaches the next floor, and, you know, smart man, he has his finger literally on the trigger as the doors open. And on the other side is the samurai sword guy. Before they fight, he just wants to talk. And according to him, depending on how this turns out, they may even surrender, based on what Denji says. You know, he's just like, all we want is for you to atone for what you've did. You've killed people that we care about, family and friends. Do you not have any remorse for killing my grandfather, Denji? And Denji's just like, nope. Your grandfather was a zombie when I killed him, so he was already gone. But the samurai guy is just like, wow, you really, you liar. I'm going to kill you, Denji. So then they fight, and once again, it's a pretty spectacular animated fight. So the samurai sword guy also reveals that he too had his heart replaced with the devil. He has the katanas, the katana devil as a heart replacement. But unlike Denji, he still has a piece of his humanity where even it keeps him up at night thinking about some of the zombies that he's killed. And I'm just like, really, man? They're zombies. They're gone already. Anyway, so they fight. They fight, and it involves a bunch of rooftops. And then they fall onto a subway train, on top of a subway train. It's the Spider-Man versus Doc Ock scene. Or the scene where Logan fights off that one Yakuza guy. So they keep on fighting, and then the fight leads to inside the subway train. The opposite of what happened with Wolverine, where he somehow ended up outside. So Samurai Sword guy, he does his signature move. He just kneels and then moves faster at the speed of light. Does that twice, cuts off Denji's arms, so he now cannot fight. But Denji, he hasn't given up yet. He still has the chainsaw on his head. So they duel once again. Oh no, looks like Denji is about to lose, because the chainsaw on his head is shattered. But then it turns out, no, Denji had a secret weapon. A retractable chainsaw on his leg. And he sliced the samurai sword guy in half. Well, I don't think we've seen Denji have the ability to have chainsaw on his legs before. That's a very Deus Ex Machina moment, isn't it? I'm going to assume he learned that from his training with that Special Division 1 guy. Or, unless you're telling me Denji knew this entire time and he just never had to, pull out his trump card. How did he discover his legs also have chainsaws? Unknown. Don't worry about it. He just knows. And I'm also thinking, that's not how this works. Man. So when the when the samurai sword guy was sliced in half, he spoke for a good handful of seconds before realizing, oh no, my body is sliced in half. No, come on, let's not do this. That's not how that works. He would have instantly realized. Even if these characters are immortal, borderline, they can still feel pain. And the way physics works, that body would have started splitting in half the instant it was sliced in half. No, come on. He would not have been able to speak. Well, by the time the samurai sword guy wakes back up after regenerating, he is in his underwear for some reason, and he's now chained up. He has been restrained. But Denji, he's not satisfied just yet because this guy shot at Himeno. It's because of him, or he's one of the reasons why Himeno is now dead. And according to Denji, that means one less hot girl in the world. So what is Denji gonna do to make himself feel better? He's gonna have a contest. Just in time, because Hayakawa shows up too. Denji proposes a contest between the two, because he also informs Hayakawa that this guy shot at Himeno. So, let's see. What is a contest, per se? Let's see who can kick his balls the hardest until the authorities show up and make him scream the loudest. Let's see who can make him scream the loudest before the authorities show up. At first, it seems like Hayakawa wasn't into that idea, you know, since he just straight up says, our job is to capture him, not to torture him for our own entertainment. Anyway, so what do I get if I win? And then they proceed, they continue on. It's nice to see Hayakawa let loose a bit, given the fact that he, has very limited time. May as well achieve his goal and have some fun with his remaining time. So we see Makima report to one of the higher-ups, one of the superiors, giving us the backstory on Sawa... the hell was her name again? Oops. Sawatari, jeez, I always forget her name. And you know what? It seems like I'm not gonna need to remember her name anymore, because she dead. Makima explains that she made a deal with the Gun Devil. She was tasked with retrieving the chainsaw's heart. But before they could question her even more, as Kobani is walking a chained-up, restrained Sawatari to prison, I suppose, she summons a snake devil to decapitate herself. She's dead. Whether she did that to herself willingly, or that was just a deal with the Gun Devil, if you were to ever be captured, then you're dying. I will send the snake demon to kill you. Sawatari's gone, unless she can regenerate too. Which, if she can, then what was the point of decapitating yourself? Anyway, so after arresting these guys, they have retrieved like what, 1.5 kilograms of the Gun Devil's flesh. Hey, remember that storyline? Remember that? Yeah, that's been missing for a good number of episodes. So when they've combined it with, I think it was the 5 kilograms that they've already had, the chunk is finally starting to move towards the main body itself. Ah. So the superior, the higher up, the other guy, was asking Makima, where are we heading? Where are we going to find the Gun Devil? So the camera really zooms in to Makima's face, but we don't learn where they're heading off to just yet. Instead, we get a nice, wholesome ending for once. We see Hayakawa along with Denji and Power, dressed up casually. Wow, you don't really see that often. We see the three of them hang out, chill, have fun, buy groceries, have a really nice dinner, enjoy their time. You know, it was really nice to see. The three of them being friends, having a good time, very wholesome, it was nice. But then after the dinner, Denji and Power, they completely crash. I guess it was just too much food, too many drinks. The two of them completely black out. Hayakawa steps outside onto his balcony, smokes the cigarette that he got that says easy revenge. You know, thinking about Himeno. Well, it's okay, Hayakawa. You have 2 more years before you'll be reunited with her. Potentially less, since we've seen Hayakawa constantly using his sword, so does that mean his lifespan is less than 2 years remaining? So yeah, he smokes the cigarette, and then we zoom into Denji's sleeping face, where he has that dream once again. That same dream, it's the same visual as we saw at the very beginning of the first episode, where walking down a very dirty looking alleyway, turning to see a door that has like a ton of paper on it. And we even see young Denji in the dream say to himself, I have this dream all the time. I always have it, but I never remember it. On the other side of the door, we actually hear Pachita's voice. Denji wants to go in because he can at least pet Pachita in his dreams. But then Pachita, or the voice that supposedly is Pachita's, saying, you cannot open this door, Denji. And then the door just really zooms, or fades into the background, really zooms out. And as a final scene to not only the episode, but to season 1, we see someone walking. We see someone walking. We see a hint of purple hair. And we hear her say something towards Denji. And then we see her enter a building that almost looks like Sojiro's cafe. Gee, I wonder who that is. But obviously, they're teasing Reize for the movie, which I'm a little surprised. Obviously, this season came out long before the movie did, so they were probably teasing a season 2, but then they decided, you know, the next storyline, we're going to turn it into a movie. Now, I'm surprised by this because normally, this doesn't happen very often. Normally, shows, series, you know, episodic programs don't really connect to films, you know? I was fully expecting season 1 to end just closed off, maybe some teases of season 2, and then the events of the movie takes place in between seasons 1 and 2, and season 2 probably does not reference the movie whatsoever. That's kind of what I was expecting. Cause, you know, I mean, then again, anime movies happen all the time that connect to the main shows. Just look at Demon Slayer. But that's besides the point. You know, that stupid mentality where it's like, oh, if you want to understand the events of season 2, you need to watch this film first. And then companies being scared like, man, we don't want our audience to be confused, to have missed out on storylines because, you know, they didn't know they had to watch a movie in between seasons. So we're going to make it, you know, we're going to make it as if the movie does take place in between the stories, but they're just not really going to reference it. We aren't really going to reference it. So just in case anyone who hasn't seen it yet, they're good. They're in the clear. They don't need to watch the movie to understand. And to me, that's like, well, that's absolute bullshit. You know, people who didn't watch the stuff in between, that takes place in between, and doesn't understand the continuity, the references, fuck them. You know? More fan service, more connectivity for us fans who did watch everything and did watch them in the proper order. How long have you been here? Because I think you may have just tuned in at the very tail end of me breaking down the episode. You just got here? Wow, you missed every word I said. I was eating out? What were you eating out? Unlimited wings. Damn, sounds like you just won in life. Good thing I got this bottomless bucket of fried chicken to keep me busy. Name where that's from. Remember that? Anyways, yeah, season 1 of Chainsaw Man is done. We will go over Absolute Cinema next time, as long as I have time to watch the film. You know, ideally I would have watched it today, but I had the episode to watch today, and I was studying, procrastinating. What? Oh, right. When I saw you a couple days ago, you wanted me to give my predictions for the film. Well, it's kind of hard to say. I have zero clue what the plot of the film is, besides another waifu for Denji to fall in love with. And then, I don't know, I'm gonna guess like she has a ulterior motive for why she's here. Maybe she breaks Denji's heart. Maybe she doesn't. I don't know if Denji would even care. She's here for some mission, gets involved with Denji and the rest of the characters. She goes off to do her own thing. The characters discover. Something like that. I mean, what kind of predictions can I really make? I don't know the plot. All I really know is there's this new character involved, and that's about it. I mean, if it's a movie, there has to be some sort of conflict. So, I mean, come on, let's face it. They're probably not... I mean, you already know. Y'all out there already know. They're probably not going to give me a flat-out romance movie, you know? No. They're not just going to give me a peaceful movie where Denji meets someone new and then whatever else plays out. Nah, this movie, and given the world that given the world this is, there has to be some sort of conflict. I'm guessing maybe there's some ultra-powerful devil that shows up that is movie exclusive. Probably referenced in Season 2, maybe. Like, we haven't heard of this devil yet. It's not on the level to the gun devil, but it's another very powerful devil that causes problems. Our character needs to solve it. like Scooby-Doo. So I'm guessing there's some sort of powerful devil present, causing mayhem that our characters have to deal with. Maybe they take the whole movie to come up with a plan to stop it. And given the fact that I've heard so many things like boom, explosion, Michael Bay, maybe it's some sort of explosive relating devil. Some sort of bomb devil, perhaps? Low-key, when you watch it, call me. I'd be down to watch it with you just to get your love reaction. Wait. No, I read that right. Oh, live reaction. The difference one letter makes. You don't know why it auto-corrected? Maybe it says something about your character. That the computer or your phone auto-corrected it to what you often type. Man, you're gonna love my love reaction, alright? If this movie is anything less than absolute cinema, then I will be disappointed. Cannot confirm nor deny? Nah, what you should have said was can confirm nor deny. So they finally have enough of the Gun Devil's flesh to actually have some sort of beacon, some sort of homing beacon to find where the Gun Devil is. I swear to God, watch them say, "We are going to America." America, the birthplace of AIDS. If you haven't seen The Dictator, do yourself a favor and watch it. Because then, if you're telling me the Gun Devil is in Japan, it's like, well, it's very convenient. Just happens to be on our home turf. It's not in some other country, in some other continent. Nope, it's right here. How nice. I'm in love with America character. And we also learned damn near nothing about Makima yet. Not relating to the character, we did learn that her voice actor is getting married. It should have been me, not him! So anyways, did I forget anything about the episode? Oh, right. And I know for a fact now, so stop gaslighting me, that yes, the opening intro does have differences. I know for a fact, and you cannot convince me otherwise. I need no show proof, because I know it for a fact. Trust me, bro. You know, a bunch of the characters from the previous episode, they weren't even in this episode. The Shark Fiend, the Angel Devil, pretty big oxymoron there, ain't it? The Spider Devil, it's like, wow, they were introduced. And that's all that they were. Just introduced. They weren't even in this episode. Maybe they were in the background, but they didn't have any speaking lines. I kind of thought that they would play a bigger role, since, you know, majority of Special Division 4 is now dead. I thought they would be the replacement characters. Maybe in Season 2. But, like, wow. They showed up in the intro this entire time, teasing that, well, these characters are coming up. They're probably big upcoming characters. Nope! One introduction scene and we move on. Oops. Did you guys know Subway discontinued the flatbread? Damn. I don't normally order the flatbread. My sister likes it. My sister and mom, they like it. And, you know, I don't hate it. I'll eat it. But it's not what I order. I order the Italian cheese and herb. I got some Subway coupons in the mail the other week. I haven't had Subway in a long time just because it's expensive. So without the coupons, then I typically just don't go and eat there. Which sucks, because, you know, I like sandwiches. I can down an entire footlong on the spot. Watch me make this footlong sandwich disappear before your eyes. Shit, I could probably make 2 disappear. But I very rarely get to eat an entire footlong on my own. Pause on that. Because I gotta share with my bitch-ass family. You know, remember that time I had to share my shawarma with them? I only got a 5th. So I had a bite. I only had a bite to myself. They say sharing is caring. Well, nah, I don't care. How about that? So anyways, the Subway coupon I used was get 2 footlongs and get the third one free. It's a pretty sweet deal if you ask me, but sadly you're not able to customize your own sandwich. You have to do one of the laid out ones on the menu. Anyway, so 3 sandwiches, it came out to just over $30. So if you divide that by 3, it's like just over $10 a sandwich, which is mad expensive. And without the coupon, you know, where one of them was free, then it would have been over $15 a sandwich for a footlong. Would have been like 16 around. Would have been around $16 for just 1 footlong. What kind of bullshit is that? Man, I'd be better off just making my own sandwich at that point. An entire loaf of bread is like $2. Well, in certain stores. Isn't Mr. Sub like Canadian exclusive? Oh yeah, it is. Mr. Sub is a Canadian-owned submarine sandwich chain. Wow, never heard it like that. Submarine sandwich. Considered Canada's largest Canadian-owned sub-franchise, with a history dating back to the first location in Toronto, 1968, making it older than Subway in Canada. You know, I've only had Mr. Sub once. Despite being my country's, you know, main sandwich place, like Tim Hortons, I've only ever had it once. I don't know, I guess in my eyes, Subway's more famous. Not for that reason, but the Subway is just more well known. Subway has been on the downhill for years, though. Yeah. You would think it's a slam dunk, you know, just a sandwich shop. You go in, you just have the people make your sandwich for you in front of you, and you would think that would be an easy slam dunk for a business. How did it all go so wrong? Well, except for that one instance with the owner, Mr. Fogel, but aside from that... The fact that their bread classifies as cake since it has so much sugar. I love my cake with meat and vegetables and sauce in between. I don't know. When you, have I tried Jersey Mike's? No, I have not. When you really break it down, I feel like it's ludicrous to classify Subway bread as cake just because of the amount of ingredients in it. And, you know, there's that big argument of what is a sandwich. People argue, is a hot dog a sandwich because it is meat between bread. You know, if a sandwich classification is only meat and bread, then, you know, I've seen people online make the arguments, is a pizza a sandwich? Is fried chicken a sandwich? Because it is meat in between breading, you know, breading. And if they're willing to go so technical to classify Subway bread as cake, then yes, fried chicken technically is meat in between bread. You can't have one, and you can't have one and say the other isn't. If a taco is a Mexican sandwich, a hot dog is then a hot dog is a sandwich. Legally speaking. Don't you just love the world we live in? We have stupid debates like this. You know, in my mind, these are fun. Yeah, but there are people out there that take it too seriously. In my mind, do these things even need classifying? A sandwich is a sandwich. A taco is a taco. A pizza is a pizza. You don't need to make the arguments, well, technically, they have these same components, so shouldn't they be the same classification? You're having a blast. Sandwich is a social construct. Man, I don't remember if I mentioned this yet. If you were around at the very end of last time, I didn't mention it, but maybe you heard it. I was kind of snacking on some pizza rolls because my mom brought some in. I don't know if you heard it or not, but after I finished and I left this room, my dad pulled me aside and whispered to me, "Son, the news just said there's some sort of issues with the company behind the pizza rolls, so don't eat them. Don't tell your mother, too, otherwise she'll get mad, she'll get upset, like, you know, it's already made, so just eat it. Just don't tell your mother." But, you know, I already ate them, and I'm fine. Supposedly, I even looked it up, too. Supposedly, something with Pillsbury and the pizza pops have potential E. coli in them and are making consumers sick. But from what I saw, not only was that story over 2 weeks ago, it also seems like it revolves around the products that have bacon. So that wasn't even the pizza bites, that was the pizza pops. You know, the calzone items. I forgot the word there. The products that resemble a calzone. And you know, I think I mentioned this somewhat. This doesn't entirely relate, but kinda does. Well, if you die, I'll be sure everyone knows you died doing what you love, eating pizza bites. Real ones would respect that death. Anyways. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I mentioned this. I remember saying it too. You know how online people constantly have these health advice and recommendations like, don't do this, it's bad for your health. Don't eat this, it's bad for your health. Don't drink that, it's bad for you. Well, if you were to combine all of them, all the advice that everyone is telling you not to do, it's like, well, what can I eat at that point? I can't eat this, I can't eat that, I can't drink this, it's all bad for my health. What can I consume at that point? That's the better question. Everyone's telling me what not to eat. What can I eat? And at this point, it's just like, man, don't breathe oxygen. It's slowly killing you by aging you to death. Yeah, at this point, I'm just like, man, the hell with all the advice out there. I'm just going to eat what I want when I want to. If I die, then, well, so be it. Guess I'll die. All you health nuts out there can enjoy your vegan cabbage and your vegan water, your healthy stuff. Me, on the other hand, I'm just going to stuff my face with pizza, burgers, filled with GMOs. If it tastes good, well, that makes me happy. You can enjoy your, I don't know, your food that makes you like 120 years old. But me, on the other hand, I'm going to die at the ripe age of 60 knowing I enjoyed all the good eats in this world. If I even make it to 60. Because of all the toxic food I consume. In the end, the most important thing is genetics. Well, my genetics are a coin flip. I got issues, but then again, I also am rather normal, I think. It's not necessarily an issue. You guys seen my pinky before? Have you seen my pinky? My very fat, very short pinky? See how it's bent? Yeah, that's my genetics. See my pinky, how it's slightly bent? It's kind of hard to see, but yeah. That's the case for both of my pinkies. My grandfather had it, my mother has it, and I have it. My sister slightly has it, though it's not as extreme as mine. I mean, like I said, that's not really a problem. It's just a weird aesthetic. Some people can eat like ass and be fine. Some people can eat like a health nut and still have something explode. Man, that's like a friend of ours. He eats all that he wants and he still stays skinny. Man, I wish I could do that. I eat all I want. I just gain the weight. Envious. Yes. I am too round. Me too. Me too, brother. When I say I'm in shape, it's because I am a shape. I'm round. You know what? There's another question I've been wanting to put out there for a while now. Not that it's very important. What accent do I sound like I have? I don't have a Chinese accent, thank God for that. I don't know, do I sound more Canadian or do I sound more American? There are things that I say that are, I think are more Canadian. Like I hear Americans say water, but I say water. What else do I hear? I hear Americans pronounce it tomorrow, like tomorrow, and I say tomorrow. Tomorrow, tomorrow. And you know, this one too. Canadians' favorite word. I hear people pronounce it sorry, while I say sorry. As long as I don't have a Chinese accent. Oh, I need to charge this. Where did my cord go? It's over there. Shiny battery dies. Thank God that wasn't the case. Did you guys hear that the price for the 3DS is going up? Just because 3DS is discontinued, but people are resorting to playing some old handheld games. The Switch is expensive, games are expensive. Well, 3DS. It can fit in your pocket at least. It's like $400 plus. I'm surprised you don't have a perma plugged in when streaming. Well, every now and then, as long as I remember to, I charge it before I do this. If you homebrew your 3DS and you can... if you homebrew the 3DS, you can play 3DS, DS, and GBA games all on one machine. Interesting. All natively, basically no emulation. Ooh, don't say that word. Nintendo will send their ninjas after us. Some of the emulation is from Nintendo. Unless they see you pay for it, they will come for your throat. You know, I felt off all day today. Aside from not really getting very good sleep last night, I kind of completely forgot to eat today. I ate breakfast. Eating lunch completely skipped my mind. Because when I was studying, I mean playing games, around like 4 o'clock, I got tired, so I went to take a nap, and then I woke up around 5:45-ish. By that time, it's like, well, now there's no point to eating. Dinner's almost here. And yes, I know that's a late dinner, but that's normal for me. And when I ate dinner, I didn't even eat until I was stuffed. I could have. But, you know, I'm already too round as is. You know, at least for you, you have being tall going for you. At least there's that. You know, the last time my friends and we did it in an escape room. At the very end, before we all left, we were just chilling, talking, and we were talking about height. And me being the shortest one there, well, second shortest, but shortest guy, because my friend's girlfriend was there, and she was the shortest. Would have been mad embarrassing if I was shorter than her. But yeah, we were talking about height. All of my friends who were taller than me were comparing height, and I'm just like, damn. These guys stand side by side, and I completely disappear. But that's besides the point. So they were just like, man, I'm 5'11". I'm not 6 feet tall. I wish I was 6 feet. And I'm just like, I don't fucking believe you when you say you're not 6 feet tall. Look at you. Look at the two of us. We found the difference between 6 feet and 5'11". You just look at the two of us standing side by side. Man, I wish I was 5'11". I wish. I really wish. But nope. Nope. That's just a, you know, a choice that God made when he was working on me on the avatar creator screen. I'm not 6 feet tall, I'm 6'11". Wee. Man, I'm none of that. I'm not 6, I'm not 11, and I'm not feet either. thus is life. You know, it's very easy for someone tall to say, thus is life. None of my tall friends know the perspective from down here. Anyways, before I run out of time, I still haven't gone over the Sandman yet. This is the second last episode of Season 2, or it should have been, until we got a special extra episode. But not counting that, episode 10 of Season 2 is the season finale. What? The second last episode. Not the season finale. You're like 5'10" either way. Again, I don't fucking believe you when you say you're not 6 feet tall. Anyway, so this episode opens up with Abel greeting the kindly ones, as well as Hippolyta. And, well, sadly, Abel gets killed by Hippolyta. And I'm just like, well, that was uncalled for. First, Hippolyta killed Fiddler's Green, and now she killed Abel. She even has a hint of remorse on her face, like, do I really need to kill all these characters just to get at Dream? Well, she's more so doing the biddings of the kindly ones than actually killing for her own desire. I think you're overestimating how tall 6 feet is. Even with shoes, I'm not close. I don't believe the lies you tell. So we see Merv Pumpkinhead with a machine gun. I kind of forgot that these characters got machine guns. It's hilarious to see these mythical characters holding firearms. So Merv is in the presence of the ladies, and he warns them, but obviously they don't listen, so he just lets bullets fly. But the ladies disappear. Somehow, they made the bullets fly back at him, and they just kill Merv. Well, that sucks. A lot of characters being killed off. Matthew was with Merv as he died, so now Matthew, for some reason, instead of flying away, just allows the ladies to walk up to him. So, all the characters of the Dreaming are fleeing to the palace for safety. Corinthian has Daniel, Lucien is there, and Cain is here too. Matthew shows back up, and they realize, what the hell is going on? How are the Fates here? I thought they couldn't get here if Dream was still in his realm. Well, Dream isn't in his realm. So we meet back with Dream in Fairy after being summoned by Queen Titania, and she's just like, I'm sorry, I thought it would be safer for you here. It's like, you idiot! You did the one thing that kind of screwed him over, dumbass. Anyway, so Dream still owes Nuala a boon. So what does she ask for? She only asked for Dream to return to the Dreaming, so that, what did she say again? She only wants him to leave here to defend the Dreaming. That is her only wish. You know, I'm really getting like somewhat hints of romance vibes between Dream and Nuala. But sadly, it doesn't seem like that's gonna ever play out. So the ladies approach the palace, where the palace guards stop them. There's Wyvern, the dragon, there's a Pegasus, and then there's even a Griffin. I don't think the Griffin and the Pegasus got names. Well, the Griffin stands against the ladies, but then just kind of gets the life sucked out of him. Dream steps out, says enough is enough, and just gives the Griffin his life back. Yeah, Dream is in his realm. Dream can do anything. So Dream invites him inside, where he reveals to Hippolyta that, hey, Daniel's not dead. I didn't kill your son. Daniel's right here. Moves aside to show her that the Corinthian is carrying Daniel. Damn, I can't get over how hot she looks in that outfit. What? But they kind of failed to explain to her what exactly happened to Daniel. The fact that Loki took him, burned him, and he's no longer human. He's as powerful as Dream of the Endless. So that's not her son anymore. They borderline completely fail to explain that to her. But this Lyta Hall is just a dream. She's still lying on the bed on the floor from Hetty. So she was dreaming this whole time, but, you know, dream, so she can actually harm Morpheus. Hippolyta starts second-guessing what she's even doing, like, my son's not dead, my son's fine, why am I doing this? Well, she gets convinced by the kindly ones to continue her crusade, but for now, they're gone. For now, they're no longer in the dreaming. Dream decides, well, while there is an avatar for the kindly ones, they will not stop to try to kill Dream. So Dream's plan is to end Hippolyta, kill her, because if Hippolyta is dead, there won't be someone to become the avatar for the kindly ones until someone else campaigns to kill Dream. So he goes and speaks to Hetty, but, you know, Dream can't really do anything to her because of that circle of protection that she did in the last episode with her lipstick. But, you know, that won't stop Dream. Dream can easily kill her. There are more than one ways for someone like Dream to kill a human. But Hetty convinces him not to. Just think, if Dream were to kill Hippolyta, that would mean Dream survives for now. But by the time Daniel grows up and becomes the next Dream, well, what will he do when he finds out that Morpheus killed his mother? So Dream decides not to kill Hippolyta. We see that Nuala goes over to see Clurakin. First of all, asking for the glamour to be removed off of her, because she wants to help fight against, you know, these forces. But Clurakin, he really doesn't want his sister to go because it's a suicide mission. Clurakin pleads by telling her that she's the only one in the entire kingdom of Fairy that actually cares about him. Because everyone else just sees him as a joke. The reckless fool with no cares in life who sleeps with anyone he wants, who always says goofy things. They just want to see him as a joke. Believe me, buddy, I know what it's like for your life to be nothing but a joke. Anyway, so he reluctantly agrees, removes the glamour from Nuala, and she's off. We also see Delirium in the waking world with Goldie trying to search for Barnaby's, and even I'm just thinking like, Goldie is kind of out in the open for humanity to see. And yeah, people actually do notice, like, what the hell is this flying creature thing? You know, bystanders are shocked by the creature. This guy even takes a picture of it. Delirium realizes, oh, humanity really hasn't ever seen a baby gargoyle. So instead, what she does is she just manifests a little string to put onto Goldie's leg as if it's a balloon that has wings flapping. So they continue to search for Barnaby's. Dream speaks with the inhabitants of his realm, speaks with Cain, Lucien, and the Corinthian. He reveals to them that he will go to the furthest edge of the dreaming to confront the kindly ones, because they're not going to stop. So he says his final goodbye to Lucien and the rest. But he doesn't want it to be a goodbye. He wants it to be a thank you. And, you know, I can't help but notice, wow, even more masterful acting. Like, this is excellent acting. So, he sends them all away, but Matthew remains. Matthew is sure to stay by Dream's side. Even making sure. So if I go with you, I'm probably not coming back, right? Alright, let's do this together. So Dream and Matthew venture out to the furthest edge of the dreaming, where he summons the kindly ones. Even starts raining too, with their presence. Lucien, Cain, and Corinthian, they're holding this glass orb, because it supposedly could show them what's going on with Morpheus, but they can't see anything. It isn't until Daniel lays his hands on it that something actually reacts. So as the glass orb is rolling away, because Corinthian took it away from Daniel just to make sure it doesn't shatter or whatnot, he rolls it away. Death shows up. Which is a pretty bad thing, because we already know Death only shows up when there's work to be done. So Death being here is a pretty bad sign. And Death agrees to wait with them. Well, the kindly ones reveal that Hippolyta, she's still hell-bent on destroying Dream, so she strikes her sword onto the Dreaming's ground, and a giant abyss starts to manifest, making its way to the palace. So the palace is on the verge of being destroyed as well. Dream has one last request for Matthew. Fly back to the palace, where his sister will be. Tell Death to please be here with him. And then for Matthew to stay back there. Dream says one last goodbye to his friend. And then he proceeds to take off his coat and just sit in the rain waiting for his sister. And it's kind of funny. It's kind of interesting seeing Dream in just a plain t-shirt. In just a plain black shirt. We've never seen Dream just wear a plain shirt before. I don't know, that's just kind of funny to see. He's always wearing trench coats and some sort of robe. But no, just a plain black t-shirt. So Matthew shows up, informs Death of Dream's last request, and she goes. We say Lady Nuala, riding on horseback, trying to leave Fairy, trying to go through a portal that'll bring her to the Dreaming, but in her way is Queen Titania. Also couldn't help but notice that Nuala is putting on a fake accent to speak to her queen, because remember, Cluracan took off the glamour, so she has no accent. It almost seems like Titania would not allow Nuala to go. She draws her sword, and it even scares Nuala, but, Titania just says that she cannot allow her to go, without a weapon. So she arms her with a sword and allows her to go through the portal. So Dream and Death sit side by side in the rain. Just talk about what could have been. How Dream has changed over the centuries. He doesn't act the way he did when, he doesn't act the way he once did. It's sad what led to these events. The fact that Dream killed his son twice when he would not help him and when he did help him. Well, the Kindly Ones mock and tease Dream by telling him that, the very core of his realm is collapsing because Hippolyta is breaking it to where Death actually stands up and just shouts at them, "Enough. This is between me and my brother. Just leave us alone," and they actually comply. Remember, this is Death. She is one of the most powerful Endless. And to piss her off, welp, let's just say you'd be screwed to piss off Death. Well, Dream has accepted his fate. Dream is ready. He turns to his sister and tells her he's tired and that he's ready. There's no going around this. This has to happen. So Death reaches out her hand, tells Dream to take her hand. And it almost looks like, I forget what it's called. The painting on the Sistine Chapel where man is reaching out to Jesus. It kind of looks like that. So it seems like the moment Dream touches his sister's hand, he will be dead. At the exact same time, Nuala comes in on horseback, charges, and with her sword, slices off Hippolyta's head. At that exact moment, Dream touches hands with his sister. Lightning strikes, but it goes into slow motion. The screen fades to white. And presumably, Dream is dead. Well, we cut back to the waking world where Goldie is maybe no more. Because we see Goldie disappear within a little spiral of sand. And now Delirium is left alone, trying to find Barnaby's. Hippolyta wakes up, being thankful that her head is still attached. Hetty is walking with a couple of dogs. One of the dogs runs off from her, and it's actually revealed that this is Barnaby's. This is where Barnaby's was. Somehow he lost Delirium and found his way to Hetty. So Hetty reunites with Barnaby's. Delirium even offers Hetty a reward for taking such good care of him, but she refuses. It's probably best not to get favors from their kind, the Endless. So Delirium and Barnaby's go about their way after Delirium tells Barnaby's about Dream being gone now. Hetty returns home and sees that Hippolyta is awake, but kind of breaks the news that, well, you did what you wanted, right? You killed Dream. But there's kind of no getting back your son now, is there? Because we see back in the dreaming that they're able to see the rain clouds are gone, the sun is coming up, the quakes have stopped. That means that the Kindly Ones are gone. They question if the Kindly Ones are gone, then where's Dream? A voice from behind them says, right here. Or, no, I'm right here. I am here, Corinthian. They all turn around and they see Dream? But wait, that's not Morpheus. they turn around and see a grown-up Daniel Hall, the new dream of the endless. And that's the episode. You know, I kind of don't know if we're going to get a season 3. I feel like season 2 is pretty close-ended. Because Dream is dead, unless we're going to follow this new Dream, which I don't know if I want that. You know, this isn't the character we've grown attached to for 2 seasons. Oh, I just looked it up. No, The Sandman will not have a season 3. Netflix has confirmed that the upcoming second season will be the final one, effectively ending the series after 2 seasons despite the original source material's depth, with creators considering story arcs to provide a conclusion for Dream's journey. While showrunner Alan Heinberg expressed the willingness to continue, the decision was made to conclude the adaptation after season 2. Well, that's fine by me. So the entire continuity just goes Sandman Season 1, Dead Boy Detectives, Sandman Season 2. Which is fine by me. But yeah, Dream is dead. So there kind of can't be a Season 3. Damn. Well, it is what it is. Alright, there you go. There is one more episode after this that actually, like, concludes the plot, but then there's a special episode. Well, that's all I've got to say for tonight. When will Tornadus be shiny? Please don't let it be another Giratina. It takes like 20 of these before it does shine. Oh, by the way, did you guys see the Pokemon Lego sets that were announced? In one day, pre-orders have already sold out. Them shits is expensive too. The American prices, the US prices. Eevee is the most affordable, being like 60 something USD. But there's a Pikachu that's like, what, 200 bucks? And then, ooh, the starter set. That one was crazy. The Charizard, Venusaur, and Blastoise set, that's like over $600 USD. And then when you convert it to Canadian, that's like borderline 900 bucks. Am I gonna get them? No, I would like to have them, but not at those prices. You know American prices? If you divide that by how many actual Lego pieces there are, then it's like less than 10 cents a piece, which is actually not that bad when you break it down like that. But still, I ain't paying that much money for no damn Legos. I would sooner buy the Deku Tree set before I buy these. And I haven't even bought the Deku Tree set. I want to, but it's expensive. It's just a big set. But, yeah. Now, maybe I'll spend that kind of money whenever we get a Decidueye or a Greninja set. Or even a Gardevoir. Oh yeah, it's licensed too. I did see people make that comparison. Would you spend, you know, a couple tens of bucks for like the Mega Block Pikachu set that's not official? Or would you rather buy the official one for a couple $100? Gardevoir, I know what you are. I know what kind of man you are. Oh, a friend of mine also sent this earlier. Metacritic's top 3 user-rated games of all time. Number 1, with a 9.6, Expedition 33. Number 2, with a 9.3, Cory in the House on the Nintendo DS 2008. And number 3, with a 9.3, Metal Gear Solid 3 Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater for the PlayStation 2 in 2004. Number 2, Cory in the House. Do people still make those jokes? The Cory in the House jokes? What does a DS game even look like? Did you even make the Gardevoir statue I gave you for birthday years back? No. Honestly, I have not. No offense, but it's, you know, not on the top of my priorities list. I will, one day. One day. We'll probably have kids before I end up doing that, and who knows if we'll ever have kids. In the retirement home. I'm gonna be the 80-year-old senior citizen building his Gardevoir plush out in the open. You know, by that point, Gardevoir's design will almost be 80 years old. You know, it's gonna be crazy to think that one day these Pokemon designs will be decades old. It'll be good for maintaining motor control. Fine motor control. Man, I just looked it up. What the hell does this actually look like? What the hell does this Cory in the House DS game actually look like? Wow. I'm listening to it with headphones. The background music is literally just a presidential theme. That's actually what the background music is. Damn, imagine having this on your resume. You're a game dev, you have on your resume, worked on Disney's Cory in the House DS. What a legend, you're hired. I see one comment here on this video. I used to think Mother 3 was my favorite JRPG, but I don't know anymore. The way this game looks, you know, I do kind of miss the way these older games look. You just don't see graphics and art styles like this anymore. Well, I guess you kind of do when it's intentionally this kind of awful graphics. You know, certain developers like Puppet Combo, they make games that look like this. Puppet Combo, Chilla's Arts, they make games that kind of look like this. You know, I forgot there's also a game for House. I don't know, there's just something magical about the fact that these things even exist. Games based on these kind of shows, and it's just like, how do you even make a game out of these shows? Ah yes, violating metal laws, the video game. At least with Battle Force 5, that game actually made sense. And yes, I did play it. Medical laws. Because I was thinking, the hell you mean metal laws? Have I played any of the Bakugan DS games? I think I played one, but that was so long ago I don't remember anymore. Anyways, it's time to end for tonight. I'll do one more encounter. Wouldn't you not want me to get the shiny next time because I'll be going over the movie? Well, next time especially, you better have your fingers crossed that I don't get the shiny. I mean, given my track record, I don't think that will be hard to accomplish. Anyway, see you guys next time for you know what we'll be discussing.